Hello and welcome to Away with Yin. I'm Andy and I'm so happy and thankful you decided to join me for this Yin yoga practice. Before we get started, please gather a set of blocks, a blanket, and a bolster. We'll start practice lying down on our bellies in crocodile pose, but before you get comfortable, bring your bolster and your blanket just past the crown of your head. You might stack your palms on top of one another, resting your forehead on those stacked palms. Also, feel free to bring your hands down to your sides and rest one cheek on the earth. If it's not comfortable to lie on the front side of your body, you're always welcome to lie on your back instead. While you get comfortable, please allow me to introduce the theme of today's practice. That theme is working with the Taoist concept of Wu Wei. Alan Watts talks about this, as well as martial artist Bruce Lee. And Wu Wei means effortless action, inaction, being in alignment, or the ability to go with the flow. And already we can explore this sensation of going with the flow by aligning to our breath. So, behind these soft closed lids in this quiet, dark space we've created, we can really feel into the inhale breath and how it gives rise to the exhale breath, how the exhale breath gives rise to the inhale, and the cycle repeats over and over again. So, for a few moments, be with just your breath and this continuous cycle flowing in and flowing out. Let this be your last round of focused breath before letting that focus go and giving space back to the breath to just move at its natural rhythm. Noticing how that cycle is always cycling in the background of your awareness. Our first posture today will be Sphinx pose, a way to open our heart to our practice and this beautiful concept of Wu Wei. So, for Sphinx pose, we'll lie on the front side of our body with our forearms out in front of us, forearms in line with our shoulders. You can keep your forearms on the earth or maybe taking a prop and wedging it beneath your rib cage, keeping the hips flat to the earth. If you're elevating or propping your chest up, you could clasp opposite elbows. But regardless, if the forearms are grounded or propped up, lightly press the front of your pelvis into the floor, gently engaging your glutes, and think of the front of your heart pulling forward to knit the shoulder blades together behind you. Try not to let your body feel rigid or like there's a lot of resistance. Find and connect to an element of softness, softening in your shoulders where you can, and softening in your breath. If there's any discomfort in your low back, please walk your elbows further away from your torso. So, Wu Wei is a feeling of being in alignment. And all throughout this practice, we want to feel in alignment with our breath. So, if you ever feel that your breath is getting caught, stuck, or restricted, that's a indicator that you've gone too far into the posture, and it would be wise for you to back off, back to a place where the breath moves with ease, that force in the background of your body that is always moving. The breath is what brings us back into alignment with our body, with its truth and its wisdom. In Sphinx pose, we might be feeling sensation through the front of our ankles, our hips, our low back, and our heart. Use your breath as a tool to move into greater alignment with these sensations. Within the concept of Wu Wei, there is this understanding that the force of nature is working in the background of everything, just like the force of your breath. So, regardless of how technologically advanced humans become, we will always be a force of nature. So, as we move into child's pose, I encourage you to connect to your inner nature, your true nature, when deciding what version of child's pose you'd like to move into. As a teacher, it's my job to give you options, but as you hear these options, choose one that feels in alignment with your body today. So, in child's pose, if your low back is talking to you, keep your knees together. If not, and you'd like to explore deeper into your hips, you can explore widening the knees. Your hands might reach back by your feet to soften the shoulders, or maybe they reach up overhead. Another option with your arms is to bend into the elbows, finding prayer hands and letting those hands rest in between your shoulder blades, or even propping the elbows up on a bolster as you see I'm doing. There's no results to strive for. There's just alignment with the sensations you're feeling in your body and making a choice that doesn't compromise your breath in any way. Wu Wei, to go with the flow. And for now, being with the flow of your breath. Let this be your last round of breath before making your way off of the floor and into a comfortable seat. Our next posture has a way of bringing the ego out. And when working with Wu Wei, our ego is the biggest obstacle that we face when going with the flow. So know that there is no version of this posture that is better than the other. There's just a version more in alignment with your true nature and today. Moving into swan pose. We can find this on our back or our bellies. I'm going to cue finding this on the belly first. So to find swan pose, we take our left shin diagonal to the top of the mat. And you'll see that I'm choosing to prop my hips up on a blanket to elevate them. This helps keep the hips somewhat level and not so sunken into the floor. I'm going to do the same thing with my chest by lying on a bolster. And the reason that I do this is because I find in my body, by elevating, my limbs do not fall asleep. In any yoga class ever, we don't want our limbs to fall asleep. You can think of that like a blockage or an obstacle disrupting the flow of energy and the flow of our breath. Now, those of you who would like to take swan pose on your back, lie on your back, bend into your knees, and cross your left ankle just above the right knee. Your feet can stay grounded on the earth, that's perfect. Or maybe you elevate that right foot on a block, or use your hands to wrap around the hamstring or the shin, taking your right leg closer as you wing the left knee away. If you're finding that your arms get tired, place a block underneath your head to take some of the work out of your arms. Regardless of what pose you're in, enjoy a few deep rounds of breath, bringing clarity to the choice that you made, and if this is where you'd like to stay. In swan pose, we are primarily feeling a sensation through our outer left hip and maybe into the low back as well. So use an inhale breath to help illuminate where you're feeling sensation in your body. To better understand the feeling of flowing and alignment, imagine how it would feel to swim against a river's current versus moving along with it. With your next inhale breath, let's start to release our swan pose and move into a seat. Once your sit bones are grounded, take any movement through your legs that you're being guided towards. If it's finding windshield wiper knees, knocking them from side to side, straightening the legs, giving them a little shake or bounce, the choice is completely your own. As we move into our next posture, really think about moving with the water's current as we find half butterfly, tucking our left foot in towards our pelvis as we extend the right leg long. For this version of half butterfly, we'll rotate our chest towards the right leg to fold over that leg. Don't feel tempted by the ego to open the right leg far off to the side It does not have to go to your furthest extent. Rather, make a choice that allows for your upper body to feel the most relaxed in this fold. And that doesn't mean that there isn't an edge of discomfort, but it's not so overwhelming that the flow of your breath gets compromised. There's not this feeling of breathing that feels like you're working against your breath's current. Now in half butterfly, you can always support either knee if it's the left or the right. And you'll see that I used my blocks and my bolster to create a bench for myself to fold over. Just depending on your body, you might be comfortable just making a tower with your blocks to rest your forehead on, or even just letting your head hang out in the pull of gravity. We want the shoulder blades to fall away from one another, opening the back of the heart as we encourage the spine to round, letting the chin lightly tuck towards the chest. And as we do so, we feel a sensation all along the posterior chain. That means the back of your neck, all along your spine and the tissues of your back, your glutes, and throughout the back of your extended leg. Now remember that being human means you are a force of nature. The flow of your breath, the beating of your heart connects you to that force. This force that is always in the background of everything that happens and everything that we do. And nature truly is a force to be reckoned with. It cannot be manipulated, guided, or forced. So to go against nature is counterproductive and ultimately a waste of time, just like swimming against a current. With your next breath, slowly start to walk your upper body away from the floor. When the spine is finally upright, you can shift your props off to the side and come to lie down on your back, taking a moment to just soak up the earth beneath you, feel the spine and the shoulders settle into the ground. When you're ready, we'll move into elevated bridge pose using a bolster, a block, or a folded blanket to elevate the hips. We don't want our prop reaching into our low back, but really staying on the pelvis and the glutes, not feeling any pinching or pain in the low back. Once you find that sweet spot, stay as you are or hug the femurs in towards the chest. If this feels good for your low back, but it feels suffocating, use your hands to hold the femurs slightly away from your chest, finding that sweet spot to just enjoy the sensation of being mildly inverted. Moving into elevated knee to chest. How does it feel to go with the flow of this shape? What leg is asking to draw inwards? What leg is asking to lengthen? As we hug one knee in towards the heart, we open the top of the opposite hip. So your arms can wrap around your hamstring or your shin, not forcing one to happen. And as for your leg that is lengthening, does the knee want to be bent or can the leg lengthen long? And maybe that lengthening happens with time in going with the flow of the posture. In postures where the hips are higher than the heart, we soothe the nervous system. By soothing the nervous system, we quiet the mind. So if the ego or thoughts or judgments were rising to the surface of your being, that's okay. But this posture is going to help those things quiet. So, can you notice that by quieting the mind, quieting the nervous system, this element of trust and surrender can really come to the forefront of our heart, making it easier to trust the flow of nature, the flow of life, making it easier for us to align with that current. With an exhale breath, release your leg back down to meet the opposite, taking a moment of pause in between sides. And when you feel called, you can journey onto the second side. As you continue to soften into the shape on the second side, I leave you in a moment of quiet to ponder on this thought and how it feels in your body. How does the word doing feel different than the word going? The word doing might feel like there's an accomplishment to be made, there's a result to strive for, while the word going feels like going with the flow, being in alignment, connection to presence. So within Wu Wei, we do not do things for the results, we act for the act itself. Bring to mind a time when you were so engulfed in an activity. You looked at the clock one moment to look at it 5 minutes later to realize that an entire hour has passed. This feeling is alignment. This feeling is Wu Wei. Allow your held knee to ride the current of your exhale breath, releasing it back down to the floor. An opportunity to take a moment of pause, removing the prop out from beneath you when you see fit. Not moving your body just yet, instead, visualizing the path of least resistance as we find swan pose on the second side, crossing the right ankle or bringing the right shin parallel to the short edge of the mat. Visualize that path, and once you have it, physically move your body going with that current. As we embrace swan pose on the second side, how does it feel to shift your perspective from doing the posture, shifting your perspective into going with the posture, not finding the shape for a result, but moving through this shape, experiencing this shape for the act itself? Making an effort is one thing, but intelligently making an effort is another. To swim against the current takes effort. To ride with the current feels smooth. riding the current out of your swan pose, back to seated, finding half butterfly on the second side, taking the right heel in towards your pelvis, extending the left leg long. Rotating chest towards the left leg to hinge from the hips, round through the spine, and settle your heart forwards. Nature has its course. We cannot force or change that. Instead, we can align our actions with nature and act when suitable. Because making an effort is one thing, but intelligently making an effort is another. Let an inhale breath guide you out of the posture, letting the spine lengthen back upright, shifting your props off to the side, So you can take a moment of stretching the legs long, bending the knees, finding a windshield wiper, or even a spinal twist from side to side. Once again, the choice is yours. For our last posture, let's end class the same way we started, by opening the heart, opening our heart to our practice and the beautiful concept of Wu Wei. Let's move into supported fish pose. You can take any version of this posture you like. Remember, no option is better than the other. Just finding what's most suitable for your true nature today. I'm lying on my bolster that's lying flat against the earth. You could always take your bolster up at an incline with a block, or just use the blocks themselves beneath your back. Knees could stay bent, legs could lie long, and the arms can move into any variation. To find more opening in the heart, flip the palms face up towards the sky. Maybe let the arms drift away from your sides. You could even take the arms up overhead, clasping hands, elbows, or anywhere in between. Just making the choice that doesn't compromise your breath in any way. Taking the path of least resistance as we part ways with fish pose, moving into Shavasana, our final resting pose. This place where we get to integrate our practice, filtering what it is that we need from what it is we need to leave behind. Allow yourself to become the most comfortable that you've been all practice, if not all day. We'll end our practice today with a quote from the great martial artist Bruce Lee. And one of the things that made him so great was his profound understanding of Wu Wei. And this quote clearly demonstrates that. A good martial artist does not become tense, but ready. Not thinking, yet not dreaming. Ready for whatever may come. When the opponent expands, I contract. When he contracts, I expand. And when there was an opportunity, I do not hit. It hits all by itself. Beginning now to deepen your breath. From that deep breath, wiggling your fingers, your toes, circling wrists and ankles. And when the body asks, finding a full body stretch before rolling onto one side, preparing to make your way to seated. Making your way into a comfortable seat. And when you arrive, inviting your hands to heart for one last moment of reflection. What feels like it's more in alignment now as compared to the start of our practice. Thank you so much, my friends, for your time, your energy, and your trust. I'm so honored to get to share this beautiful practice with you, as well as this beautiful concept of Wu Wei. If you liked this video, please give it a like or leave me a comment letting me know why. Or if it feels in alignment to you, you might consider subscribing. And truly, regardless of all of those things, thank you. From my heart to yours, may you take care and may you be happy and peaceful.